Hey everyone. All right, so here we are, third green day of January. A little bit of a hot streak, not the biggest green days, but made 2,000 on Wednesday, 1,700 yesterday, and I'm up 700 today, and I'm building the cushion on the month and on the year. You know, last year I started by going red $4,000. It never feels good to go red on the year. You immediately have a hole you got to dig yourself out of. So this year I'm just working on building that cushion, one trade at a time, lots of base hits. We're not in a home run type of market right now, but that's okay. As long as I don't swing for home runs, I can do well. If I try to hit a home run though, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna lose money. So, you know, if I tried to take like a 12, 15,000 share position and, you know, maybe it pops up 5, 10 cents, that's not really enough to take profit because, you know, the risk is always higher with that type of share size. So you really want to get at least 20, 30 cents. So you don't take the 10, 15 cents when you have it, and then it flushes down and you end up losing 20 cents on 12,000 shares. That's a $2,400 loss, and it can happen like that. So I'm really keeping my share size a little smaller, a little more conservative, at least until we see things really start to open up. And then by that time, hopefully I'll have a little bit of a cushion from all these base hits that I'll feel confident stepping up to the plate and taking a little bit more size on one of those really good quality setups. So anyways, I'm just happy to finish the week with another green day. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll be back at it first thing on Monday morning for our first full week of January. As usual, any questions, any comments, leave them below. I'll come back through and answer them over the weekend. And make sure you check out the special New Year's Eve sales that we're still running at Warrior Trading. Those are gonna finish up and be closed out this weekend. All right, so hopefully we'll see you guys over in the chat room Monday morning. And as always, hope you guys really enjoy the weekend, get some rest, study up, and we'll be back at it Monday morning. All right, see you guys soon. Hey everyone. All right, so we're gonna do our midday market recap here and break down the trades from this morning. So today is the third green day of the year, which is not bad. So I'm gonna make it official, put it in the calendar, day 3 of 2019 plus $694.09. Today is not a day where I'm gonna push my luck. I'm gonna take the money and I'm gonna walk away. So let me drag up my, this is my trading platform here so you guys can see where I'm finishing. The 3 stocks I traded today, BOXL, ASNS, and ADIL. As you can see, there's no big home run, just, you know, a few base hits. And that's kind of been the way trading has been the last, well, week or so. You know, a number of kind of nice small gains, which are good. I can certainly get by on those, but no big winners. So this is just sort of one of those times where you've got to be a little more conservative. And so, you know, for me, I kind of take this approach of my first goal each day is to build my cushion, to try to get myself green on a day. And that means my first couple of trades, I want to have a very high level of confidence in the trade, number one. And number two, I'm going to be pretty quick to take profits. So I'm usually not going to try to, you know, swing for a home run on my first trade of the day. Occasionally I will, but usually I won't. Usually on the first trade of the day, I'm just trying to get myself green and, you know, build a little bit of a cushion. Now, once I've got a cushion, then from that point, I can start to take a little bit more risk, knowing that worst case scenario, I should still be able to walk away today with profit. Any day that you're walking away with more money than you started with, even if it's only by $50, you've achieved something that 9 out of 10 traders won't be able to achieve with consistency. So for me, it's all about building that cushion with the first trade. And there are some days where I'll wait a little while before taking that first trade because I don't see anything that really makes me feel confident. Today, I took the first trade within a minute of the bell ringing, and it was on BOXL. So this morning, as I put together my watch list, I was very mindful of the fact that I didn't see a lot that looked really good. So historical date here, we'll do this scanner for 25 a.m. So this is the way I saw the market this morning at whatever it was, 925. All right, so leading gapper, FLKS. Well, this is a 55-cent stock, so I didn't like it. All right, so that one right away is off the list. The second leading gapper is AMID. It's a 38 million share float, and when I pulled up the stock to take a peek at it, I could see that it received a buyout proposal. And these usually are not easy to trade, so I cut that one off the list. Next one down, EPZM, 55 million share float. That's a little too high. Next one down, WKHS, too cheap. This one, MRKR, I pulled it up, 16 million share float is okay. Not a lot of volume. Looking at the daily chart, it's below the 200 moving average. That's a form of daily resistance. That one's off the list. TRVN, too cheap. AQB, only 4 shares of volume. RECN, too expensive. SAEX, not enough volume. Float is way too big at 378 million shares. Too cheap, too cheap, too cheap, too cheap, too expensive, too cheap. Float's too big, float's too big, too expensive, too cheap. Well, that doesn't look good, right? I mean, all of a sudden, this day is not looking so hot. I've got nothing on here that looks really solid. So I look at the overall market. I see the overall market is gapping up a bit. Yesterday, the market drops 500 points. This morning, it's back up. This is the market that we're in. I mean, things are all over the place right now. That probably isn't helping a lot. It's just creating kind of a little bit of a distraction there for people. So overall market's doing that. And let's see. Let me check screen share. I have screen share on my side, so it does appear to be working. Anyway, so so we had overall market moving up. So I said, okay, well, there's not really anything in the way of fresh gappers this morning. All right. So what do I do at that point? On a day where there's nothing on the gap scanner, I say, all right, well, what was hot yesterday? So I put that scanner away and I just go back and check my trades from yesterday. ADIL. This one was pretty hot yesterday. So, I finish trading usually around 10 a.m., 10:30. Sometimes I'll go as long as 11 or maybe noontime, but usually I'm done by 10:30. I have my first meetings with my students at 11 a.m. typically. So inner circle students have one-on-one sessions with me and with Mike and with the rest of the traders on our team. So I usually do those from 11 until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So ADIL, I traded out of the gates yesterday. It dropped back down, popped up, pulled back, popped up, pulled back, popped up, pulled back. And it actually ended up, kind of holding up relatively well. Yesterday was a green candle. Daily resistance at $7.45, the high on December 26th. And so I said, you know what, if this can break over $6.95, it actually looks pretty good. So this was on my watch list as a continuation setup for a break of $6.95, first target $7.17. Well, that happened almost to the penny. It squeezed up to a high of $7.15. Unfortunately, I was only able to make 40 bucks on it. And I'll go over that trade in a second. The second one on the watch list, ASNS. This one, I didn't trade yesterday, but some of you guys mentioned that it was strong. I took a look at it and saw that, yep, it squeezed up yesterday, continued after hours, and it would be worth watching for continuation as well. On this one, I lost $34. I'll go over that trade in a second. And the third one on the watch list was BOXL. BOXL also squeezed up yesterday, had an after hours high of about 215, pulled back a little bit. I was watching it back over $2. And the fourth one on my watch list, the only one that I didn't trade off the watch list, was BTAI. This one yesterday squeezed up, pulled back, but ended up moving back up towards the close. And so I was watching it over 550. It did not break that level, so I did not take a trade on it. All right, so first trade of the day was on BOXL. Straight off the watch list. All right, so BOXL, I bought 9,000 shares at $1.98 and sold it at 206, 205, 209, 208, 211, and 197. So that cost me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, $18 in commissions to place, 9 trades on it. That's using up commissions a little bit, but I made $688. On this one, as the bell rang, I had all 4 stocks on watch. So if I just pull up this my IRA account. This is my IRA account now. I've got my $29,000 in it, added $6,000, which is my 2019 contribution. And so I had these 4 stocks on watch here. I didn't end up trading in the IRA. I'm not certain that they've turned on settlement margin yet for me. I have to just double check with them. So anyways, I didn't trade in it today. But I keep all 4 stocks on watch. So I'm watching all 4 of them, and I'm just basically waiting to see some action. So, just watching, like kind of the spearfishermen, just looking, and boom, I see BOXL start to squeeze up. I see buyers at 88, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, and so boom, I start jumping in. Boom, 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 boom. 3 orders, I'm in. 9,000 shares at 98. It pops over $2, 205, 207. I sell half. I take some profit. I've got to build my cushion. I'm in this with some good size. I need to start building my cushion right away. I try to sell half. I fill 3,200 shares. Put out another order to sell a little more. Sell more at 205. Now I'm in the driver's seat. I've locked up $300 on this trade, and now I can hold the rest for a moment. I hold it for another 30 seconds or so, and I sell it at 09, 08, 11, and then the rest at 97. So a quick little scalp there of $2. It ended up hitting a high of 219, 220, but as you can see, it didn't hold those levels. I was watching to possibly add back over 210. It dipped down and then it surged up so fast, I didn't have a chance to add. And it was actually a good thing because it came all the way back down. Next trade, ASNS, also off the watch list. I see it starting to squeeze up. Originally, I was kind of watching it at 350, but as it squeezed up here, I went ahead and jumped in at 360. So in at 367 and 369 with 3,800 shares. I tried to put out a sell order, ended up selling some at 71, 79, 72. Not really making that much on it. It then does a little 1-minute micro pullback right here, and I go ahead and add back at 75, sell half at 80, and the rest I sell at 60, and so I ended up losing $34. Kind of a bummer. Not a very exciting trade. We got a false breakout on this candle and it dropped back down. So I gave back the teeny bit of profit that I had. All right, so down $34, which is not bad. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but down $34. ADIL. This one, also watching on my level 2, and all of a sudden I see it squeezing up here. I was watching it at this level at 78 and 80, but the volume was so light, I just didn't really trust it. It dropped down, it then came back up. And as it broke, I went ahead and jumped in right here. I bought it 20 cents higher, paying basically for confirmation that it was actually breaking out. So I'm in it with 6,000 shares at 95 and 99, selling at 704, 703, 703. Accidental short there, got rejected. So as of that trade right there, I was up $500. I then added back at 209. Sold some at 213 and then stopped out of the rest of it all the way back down here at 289 and 280 as it dropped right here. So I went from being up 500 to up only $40 on the trade. I pushed my luck. I stayed a little too long, added to the position, and gave back those gains. So I decided at that point, you know what? I'm not feeling it today. It's 9:45, getting closer to 10. I've traded 3 stocks. I have 2 trades that are basically break even, 1 trade that's a small winner. I gotta know when to walk away. That's one of the hardest things as a trader, is knowing when to walk away. Because if I walk away here and then, I check on my phone or I look at my computer in 2 hours and I see that ADIL ended up squeezing up, to 7, 8, and 9, I'm gonna think, man, I missed it. FOMO, fear of missing out. And that fear of missing out will sometimes convince you to stay here and just keep trading. And that's kind of where you have to be really careful about almost being compulsive, about just sitting here waiting and waiting. You think of some of those people that sit at the slot machines in Vegas and they'll be there till 4, 5, 6 in the morning, just, going for the next one, going for the next one, going for the next one. And, the people that do well as traders, the people that do well in Las Vegas, they're the ones who know when to hold them and know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. when to take your money off the table. I take that same approach when I do go to Las Vegas. I've, knock on wood, never left Las Vegas with less money than I started with, because as soon as I have a little bit of profit, I walk away. And, you know, that keeps me going in Vegas. It keeps me going here as a trader. It's not just about being a good trader. It's about knowing when to walk away. Because here today, you know, making 600, 700 bucks, that's not my daily goal. My daily goal is $2,000. So I'm well below my daily goal, and I had a choice to make. Am I going to keep trading and try to hit that goal, or am I going to take the cue from the market that maybe this is the best I'm going to do today? The environment just isn't that hot for being aggressive, so I'm going to step back. And that was absolutely the right move. It takes an ability to step away from that tunnel vision and that compulsion to say, what's going on in the bigger market around me? Is today the day to be aggressive and take trade number 4 with big size? And the answer for me was no. So stepped back, took my profits, and you know, and that's it. So another green day, third green day of the month. And also, you know, I had, for those of you guys that don't remember, my longest hot streak ever was 56 consecutive green days. It was pretty impressive, no doubt about it. I'm trying to find my calendar here. What did I do with it? I just had it yesterday. Let's see. Hang on. I'm just looking for my calendar. This is old one. Here it is. Okay. So my longest hot streak was 56 consecutive green days. But in those 56 days, I didn't make nearly as much as I made during my 44-day hot streak, where I took $583 and turned it into $100K. You know, and in those 44 days, I had red days, so it wasn't like a straight green hot streak. But my longest green consecutive hot streak was 56 days, and during that period, I was being very conservative. I wanted basically to try to set my own personal record of the longest consecutive, you know, green day run, to the point where I think I had a day where I was up only like $100, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather just close today green than risk taking another trade and going red. So I was being compulsive even on that side, where I was like afraid to take risk because of this arbitrary, you know, challenge that I'd set for myself. But as of right now, today is going to be my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th consecutive green day. But in these last 9 days, I've made, let's see, 3,000, that's 7,000, 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, 14,000, 15,000, 16, 17,000, about $18,000 in the last 9 days. And I'm not going to say that's not decent, but I've had individual days where I made $22,000 or $30,000. So, you know, to have traded here for 9 days in a row and made only 17,000, my averages are a little on the low side. But at the same time, right now, I'm okay with taking base hits, and I'm happier to finish the day up 700, 800 bucks than to take a big amount of risk. And I think this is something that holds me back a little bit. Sometimes I'll see these young traders, you know, whether they're making videos on YouTube or they're, you know, on Twitter or wherever else, and they're, you know, showing off making like $40, $50, $60,000 in a day. And you look at their shares and they're trading like 50, 60, 70,000 share positions. And it's like, wow, you know, it's almost like when you see a toddler skiing down the mountain at 70 miles an hour. They've got no fear, you know, they just go for it. But, you know, once you've, you know, gone off the cliff a couple times and hit some trees and gotten beaten up, you start to get a little more careful about risk, and you start to realize, wow, you know, trading with 60,000 shares, I mean, I've had trades where I lost a full dollar per share. I've had days where I lost $1.50 per share, where I got into a trade, I top ticked it, and then it dropped and got halted going down. It resumes 50 cents lower and looks like it's going to go into a second halt going down. I mean, I've seen stocks get completely pummeled, and where I've been holding them. And so, you know, when I see people, and even sometimes we've had students who come in and within their first 3 months, they're trading with 30, 40,000 share positions. And, they'll kill it until they get killed. So, it's not to say that you can't take a big amount of risk, but for me, I'm in a place where I don't want to have a day where I'm sitting here doing my midday recap telling you how I just lost 50 grand. And it's not that I couldn't afford to lose 50 grand because, I've made over $1 million as a trader. I can certainly afford a $50,000 loss, but there's a difference between being able to afford it and actually wanting to have it happen. And I don't want that to happen. I'm actually more content with, kind of like slow and steady progress like this than trying to have big days like this and risking a big drop like that. And at the end of the day, this person here might make more than I'm going to make here, and to each their own. It's your comfort zone. And you got to, I think it's important to push the edges of your comfort zone a bit, but, you got to know what's best for you. And for me, it's, I'm kind of doing a lot of things at once. I'm a trader from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning, but then I'm a teacher from, 11 a.m. until, 3, 4 in the afternoon. And if I do something on the first half of my day that is going to make it detrimental for my for me to be able to be a good teacher in the second half of the day, then that's a problem. So if I have a day where I lose $25,000, I'm going to be in a pretty bad mood, and I'm not going to be a really good teacher to, all the students that are depending on me. So that's kind of a little bit of a sacrifice that I have to make where, I'm sort of managing these two things at once. But, and some people will ask, Ross, if you make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year as a trader, why do you even bother teaching? And I think that, for me, I think about that quote by Stephen Hawking. What was it? About work. He said that, I'm trying to remember the quote. He said something about work giving meaning to life and that you need to work. And I get so much fulfillment out of teaching and working with students. Even on the weekends, I like to work for at least 2 hours. I feel so restless when I'm not doing anything on a weekend. It's really, it does give me a lot of purpose to trade for my hour and a half each day. And yeah, that's it. Work gives life meaning and purpose. Life would be empty without it. So, when I first started teaching, I also wasn't making $500,000 a year. It was, I was trading and I was making some money and I was teaching on the side and I was working to build the warrior trading community, but both have sort of grown in tandem. I've gotten to be a much better trader over the years. The community has grown over the years. And so, sure, maybe if I had started by making $1 million as a trader in my first year, maybe I wouldn't have felt the desire to teach and to try to build this community. But they both kind of happened at the same time. It was learning to trade, it was blogging and making videos about the learning process, connecting with other people in the same place as me. And, it's organically grown to what it is today. So now it's just part of my routine. And without that routine, I would have a big void in my my life and in my routine and, what I do every day. I'm just not the type of person that wants to sit around and watch TV all day or, or even wants to travel and do stuff like that. I really like having a set routine, and it's trading in the morning and teaching in the afternoon. But yeah, both of them kind of have to go hand in hand. And there are times where, for the most part, these two things are very compatible. My goals as a trader align with, the goals of our students. But there are times where they're not compatible, where I have to be maybe a little less aggressive as a trader, because if I really push it, it's going to impact my ability to be a good teacher. And I suppose, trading in the afternoon, where I could do that and there would be opportunities, but then, I wouldn't be able to spend the time doing the mentor sessions with inner circle students. So it's kind of this balance. And I think we all find it in different ways. I know a number of our students are realtors and do real estate in the afternoons. And, you have to leave room for both. And one of the things that, we all know is that being financially independent is about diversifying your sources of income. So you don't depend entirely on just one. So, you sort of get income from all of these different places, whether it's real estate or, your hobbies or, all these different things. Some will be from day trading, some will be from dividends, from long-term investments, things like that. But that really creates sort of the ultimate sense of security when you know that you've got, 5, 6, 7 different sources of income keeping you going. So anyways, a little bit of a tangent there, but that's kind of, where I'm at right now, just kind of beginning of the year, thinking about my goals and still not really sure what my yearly goal is. I'm not really trying to, blow last year out of the water. It's more of just maintain, anywhere from $350,000 to $500,000 is good. If I can get up to 600, hey, that's cool. 750, that's awesome. But it's really going to depend on the market we're in. And the market we've been in the last few weeks here has been one where you got to be content with taking the gains when you get them and not pushing your luck. So I'm okay with doing that too. All right. So anyways, that's it for me. I got to jump on. I'm late for this call with students, so I'm going to be a little late on my calls here for the rest of the day. So I'm going to switch gears, and I will see you guys first thing Monday morning. I hope you have a great weekend and get a little rest, study up, and we'll see you on Monday. All right. Bye, everyone. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.